Get out of here.
There it is. We're in.
Get it? Get out.
I see what you did.
Yeah, that's the movie.
That's the
this
movie.
episode's about Get Out.
Yes, it is.
No.
I have no idea how to start the podcast, as you guys know. So it'll either be just us saying the name of the movie.
I'll just have to peel out in my car.
Whoa. Honestly, just puns about the title of the movie is not a bad idea.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Or
this is your wheelhouse.
So it'll either be that or something along the lines of, welcome to Late to the Movies. My name is Ben Holt, and this is a podcast where my friends and I get to fill in our movie blind spots. Every week, we'll pick a movie that either I or a guest hadn't seen before and really should have got out by now. This week, the movie is Get Out. 2017, Get Out. And our guests this week, left to right across your podcast dial, we got Robbie.
Yo.
Corey.
Hey.
Noah.
Hey.
The spooky crew rides again.
Spooky crew. I did. I literally just copied it.
The well-established trademark name that we started calling ourselves back in October, the spooky crew, when we did at least Midnight Mass and something else. I don't know.
Yeah, coming up on a full year of episodes. This is going to be episode 41.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got something big planned for the 50th. I actually don't. I don't know.
We're going to do 50 movies at once.
Some of your favorite guests are going to be back on because I only have about 8 to pick from. So.
I need to marathon Lord of the Rings.
Let's do it.
Oh, that actually is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I
we'll think about it.
50th episode is Late to the Movies on Late to the Movies. We just listen to all of our old episodes and then we talk about our favorite Late to the Movies.
Compilation.
Our favorite, yeah.
We do a clip show.
We do a clip show.
Yeah, we can do a clip show. I still have all the
I like that idea.
Before we get into the movie this week, though, we always like to talk about what we've been watching recently. Anything fun? For some reason, I always say anything fun, and I don't know why,
Does
but
it
I
have
guess
to
it's
be
a thing
fun?
now. Exactly. It doesn't have to be fun, but that's what I asked. So you can say no, but I did watch this thing that was deadly serious.
No, but I did watch this thing that was deadly serious. It was a documentary on Netflix. I forgot the name of it, but it was just basically a history of racism in America, which is pretty interesting. I figured, give some of my Juneteenth holiday to actually educate myself. But it was interesting to see like the number of times that we came close to like getting over racism. Like even before the civil rights movement, there was turning points like after the Civil War and just kind of talking about how we're at a turning point again where we're almost over the hill and we might roll back down or we can push ourselves over. It was interesting. It was very well done.
I've just watched copious amounts of YouTube. It's a problem.
It's hard not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. A lot of car videos.
Yeah.
Car modifications.
We've just been watching way too many car. I'm just like sitting in my room and I think I'm going crazy because I hear like engine revs and I'm like, wait, I'm not even watching car videos this time. My car's not on. And I'm like, wait, Noah downloaded Forza. Yeah.
That's like my main podcast game. If I want to listen to a podcast, but I want something to do with my hands and eyes, I'll like play Forza Horizon because it's the same thing. It's like when you're driving in your car, but virtually.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful game.
It does make me want to drive my real car.
Beautiful.
Yes.
It's making me want to make like a commute simulator now so people can listen to podcasts when they work from home.
Oh, yes.
So
in
nice.
traffic.
But
You have the whole setup.
I just drive around looking for stuff to jump off of.
Nice.
So fun.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been playing that. Yesterday, I went to see The Thing's 40th anniversary re-release through Fathom Events, which is, up and down in quality. But The Thing is not. The Thing is maybe my favorite movie. It's so good, and I'd never seen it in a theater before. Where I think we're going to end up talking about that in depth in October, so I won't get too into it now, besides to say, love that movie. Great to see it in theater. Let's transition into Get Out, so we can get outside on this beautiful day. We got only puns this episode.
Run, rabbit, run, rabbit.
So I saw this in theaters when it came out. I went to see it at the beautiful Coolidge Theater.
Get Out.
In Brookline, Massachusetts. One of the best theaters in America, no doubt. And seen it a couple times since then. It was on TV, kind of a surprising amount for the content. But I think it's much shorter on TV.
What channel it's on?
What's channels?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
No,
like, I have no idea. I don't mean to like fact check you. I'm just like genuinely curious.
Do not know. It's a good question. Yeah, if it's on like HBO, then that's one thing. But if it's, I think it's like TNT or something. But,
oh, no way.
Yeah. Maybe
I'm going to refrain from overusing the Get Out joke, but it's going to be tempting every time.
I don't think you can refrain from it. So this was new for you, Robbie.
Yep.
How about you guys?
I had seen it.
It was new for me.
Oh, cool. Great.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Then.
It's been something I really wanted to watch, but
Yeah,
Same.
it was like a whole cultural moment. So before we start talking too in depth about it, we want to start with a 1 minute plot summary. Anybody, Robbie or Cory, want to take a shot at it?
fuck it. I mean, yes.
Heck yeah.
Fuck it.
That's the movie. All right, let's go.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right. So there's this dude, he's walking down the street and he's like, oh man, I'm in a white suburb, but I'm, not white. And then he gets kidnapped. And then cut scene, couple, white chick, black dude, he's got to go meet her family. And he's like, hey, do they know, I'm black? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. My dad loves Obama. Which, you see something wrong right there. And he's there and he's real uncomfortable because they're being really weird and like very like, there's like 3 black people there and they're all really strange. Like they're like talking funny and like, making him really uncomfortable. Turns out her family's fucking crazy. She's a sociopath. She lured him in. They're taking brains of the peoples from their family and splicing it with the like 25% of the original owner's brain. And it's just all black people because they think the genetics the best, and then they all die, and his friend saves him because TS motherfucking A.
Perfect timing. Yeah, this movie is one that does not lose that much of its power just watching it on home video, but was super fun to see in theaters because people were just really into it. This may seem like I'm making it up, but people have legitimately asked me what my favorite theater going experience has been in my life, which seems like the kind of thing a person like me would make up, but I have been asked that before. And I usually cite this.
We get that question all the time from our fans on Instagram.
Yeah. And so to put it to bed once and for all, it's probably this movie, seeing it at the Coolidge, surrounded by people who probably were exactly like Bradley Whitford, who's the dad who says he would vote for Obama for a 3rd term. I'm sure in the extremely affluent suburb of Boston that I watched this movie in, a lot of people can relate to that character. So it was fun to see it with them. Everyone was really into it. Yeah. Jordan Peele's debut movie. We haven't said that yet. Starring Daniel Kaluuya, Allison Williams, Bradley Whitford, as I mentioned, Catherine Keener, Caleb Landry Jones is the brother, Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Who is awesome. He's not in this that much, but what he's in is all good.
He's the TSA guy.
No, that's Lil Rel Howery.
The guy at the beginning that gets kidnapped.
Oh, yeah, he's really good.
Again.
It's really good.
The way he says suburbs at the beginning is like always stuck in my mind. It goes like
Suburbs.
Suburbs. And then, his acting once he's Logan instead of Dre.
In the beginning, he was on the phone with her brother, right? I thought he said he was. I think he was talking to somebody named Jeremy, and her brother's name was Jeremy, right?
I thought he was talking to her.
No, the very beginning, like the guy that gets kidnapped.
I don't know.
No, I don't think because the brother kidnaps him in that attacks and kidnaps him in that moment.
Yeah, but like I thought, like he directed him to the neighborhood, and that's why
been.
he had him like wandering around like an idiot. Because I was wondering like why nobody reported him missing, but I guess people did report. Never mind, I'm rambling.
Well, because to get into the metatextual nature of it, because black people are only 13% of American population, but are over a third of the missing people in America.
Right. Well, they did report him missing because when he Googled him, he came up as a missing person.
Yeah, right.
But you'd think there'd be more like a more immediate, unless, he was the one that he was talking to. I don't know. I just thought that was his strategy because then the sister, when they were driving up and they hit the deer, she acts like, oh, this cop is being racist. Let me get into it in his face. But in actuality, she didn't want his name on the arrest report.
No paper trail.
Because then
I didn't think about that.
I had a question about that. Now that makes more sense.
Yeah. So she was pretending to be super woke, but really she was just keeping his name. So I was wondering if the brother did something similar and he was the one that lures him to the neighborhood. And that way there's nobody.
That makes sense.
Why didn't this guy show up at my party?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But,
okay, that does make sense.
Could be. I assumed he was just talking to like someone back home,
and he just showed up in that neighborhood.
In the suburbs.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it could be two.
Suburbs.
Could be either one.
Yeah, but Lakeith Stanfield's so great. So Jordan Peele's first movie, ends up being to jump forward all the way to after the movie comes out, only the 3rd person to have their debut movie get nominated for Best Director, Picture, and Screenplay.
Oh, wow.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Did he win any of them?
Screenplay.
Nice.
Yeah. Best original screenplay.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Jordan Peele himself, a black man married to a white woman. So you have to imagine he's been in a similar situation.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, the whole movie, I don't know if you ever have seen the meme, but it reminded me of, there's like a meme of that a girl posted, and it was like my boyfriend before and after I met him. And the before, he's like baggy clothes, wearing FUBU. The after, he's like in like pastel colors, wearing like boat shoes. And somebody comments underneath, and they were like, "Homeboy got colonized." And like, I feel like that's kind of what he was trying to play off of. Is like they get into these interracial relationships, and the person tries to change them. They start becoming like what you're saying, like their voices, like the way the black people there were talking sounded weird. And I feel like that was a play on like,
yes,
they sound like white people now. Like,
It's the
Carl
point he was
was-
making.
they dress obviously very differently. They're just like old white people.
oh yeah.
The wig that the grandma picks is straight haired, and then when you see that character when she's like dating Rose, she has very curly hair.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that the first guy he met, and we were just talking about him, but I forgot his name. But he had like that classic like boating hat on, like the straw, like
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah.
and just his manner of speaking. That he just kills it so hard. Let's talk. So the most impressive thing about this movie to me is that it just has so many things going on that it really should not work. And usually movies like this, whichever category you want to put it in, like a horror movie that has a big social point, it's really hard to make it not tedious.
Yeah.
But Jordan Peele manages to, in his first directed movie, balance social commentary with comedy, with actual mastery of horror tropes, which he deploys with like weapons grade level in this. And to have it all actually work together is kind of insane.
Well, that's the thing is like, if you take out the social commentary part and just like, even if it wasn't like black and white people, it's still a terrifying movie.
Yeah.
It's just like, you could have kidnapped and done that to anyone. It would be terrifying. So to pick a good story like that is so key. And then to put in those elements is just, it was a perfect.
Yeah. It was really
And then to have it all hit at exactly the right moment that it did to become a cultural phenomenon. It comes out in America, I think, almost exactly a month after Trump's inauguration.
Oof.
Oh, whoa.
So,
Get out.
so yeah, it hit at the right time. He wrote it during Obama's second term, and so the original ending was different.
It's funny that he did that. Like, he wrote it during Obama's second term, but he still put in the jokes of, I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could have. Like, that's just like,
Yeah.
And then during production is when stuff is kind of changed in America. So I should say, did any of you guys
do you
watch?
know what the original ending was supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they changed it.
Yeah. So the original ending, as he wrote it, and they filmed it, you can actually like watch the scene. Is it's not Rod from TSA. It's actual
the police.
Yeah, it's actual
And
police.
they
That's what I
arrest
thought
him?
was
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah. And Chris gets arrested.
That is what I thought was going to happen.
And ends up and then it's like 6 months later, and Rod goes to visit him in jail. And well, I guess technically prison, right? He goes to visit him in prison, and Rod's talking about like, okay, I'm trying to gather all this evidence and stuff, and it's just like not working, and I'm still trying though to find this stuff out, but you know the house all burned down, all the evidence burned down
Because of the candles.
We were literally like, because they were watching the end of it as I came over here, and I was like, when I saw the sirens, like that whole scene played out in my head. Like before you could see it was TSA, I was like, this is where it's going to end, and he's going to go to jail, and nobody's going to believe him because the house burned down, and this is a crazy fucking story.
That's
and
what I
he's a
thought
black
too.
man in America.
Yes. And yeah, and the point is Chris tells him, don't even bother. It's a losing fight, but like I won. I'm in
all jail.
all the Armitages are dead. They're not going to do this to anyone else. And I like conquered my inner demons because I went back for the lady that got hit by the car.
Right. And being in jail in
Yes.
real life is better
How
than
did I not
being in
even
jail
make
in your
that
head.
connection?
Right. Yeah. So it's supposed to be the gut punch of people think that we're in this post-racial America, but we're not. This is a real thing, not necessarily the supernatural or not even supernatural, the paranatural elements, but there's plenty of black men who are unjustly incarcerated, and it's supposed to be about like the prison industrial complex.
Gotcha.
But
Just quite relevant to Juneteenth.
by the time they're in production, there's already a lot of high profile shootings. If you remember, like leading up to that election and stuff, and then
Yep.
all the Trump stuff kicking up. So
Okay.
so they go with the ending that they have instead.
Mm.
He feels like it preserves the original vibe of, oh shit, it's the cops.
It does. Like I said,
'Cause-
like literally, I did that scene myself. You
Everyone,
have to.
everyone
And,
thinks
like,
that.
and you
right?
immediately go, oh, this doesn't look good for Chris.
Yeah.
You know exactly what they're going to think happened.
Which it sucks. That's the first thing I was like, oh fuck, it's the
Yes.
cops.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh sweet, the cops are here.
Yeah.
Nice. It's
Yeah,
like,
which is
oh,
exactly.
the ultimate magic trick of this movie that it's just so
Well, 'cause
so delicious.
you feel it coming because the look on her face, she starts smiling as he's choking her out, and that's I think when it
Yeah.
clicked for me
you
is
see
like
the blue and red flash.
she's smiling, and you're like, oh, she knows she won now because he's gonna go to jail. So I'm kind of glad that like you got
Mhm.
to have both endings.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, it's the
I wish he released an alternate ending to watch it the other way too.
you can. It's just on YouTube.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what he was saying.
Yep. And it's
I apparently spaced out.
yeah, you can just watch it on YouTube, and the ending as it is, you know, it's the best subversion in a movie full of subversions, because in so many horror movies when the cops show up at the end, that's okay, we're gonna get the scene of like, oh, the killers got captured. We're going to see our hero sitting in the back of an ambulance with a blanket wrapped around them being like, I'm going to be okay.
Yep.
But in this movie, the cops show up and you're like, oh no, the worst possible thing that could have happened.
Yes. Yep.
And that is the best point that it makes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I almost would have liked the ending as well as, how he was like, we can't find the evidence. I would have loved, we found all this evidence. We have like the skulls cut open. We found these photos, but the story's just too crazy and they don't want to believe it. Because that would work just as well. Like
Yeah, that could have happened too.
Well, think about it. He went to the police with like, hey, here's this dude that's been missing for 6 months. I have a photo of him. We found him recently. This is what happened. And they're just like,
doesn't look missing to me. Yep.
Like, yeah, I know. That's the point. He's not missing. We found him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the first movie I saw Daniel Kaluuya in, who plays Chris, the main character. I had seen him before this in the Black Mirror episode 15 Million Merits. It's the one with like the
okay.
I couldn't think
Everyone's
of what
in
I've seen
like
him.
a-
Why he looked familiar. That's
everyone's
why.
in like a Peloton prison.
Yeah, same.
Where they're on exercise bikes to get credits, and then they go on like America's Got Talent.
He gives his credits to that girl, right?
Yeah, Lily James, who was just in that Hulu show about Pam and Tommy.
2 first names.
Oh, I heard that was good too.
Yep. 2 first names. Those damn Brits getting away with it again. He's really good in that Black Mirror episode. And Jordan Peele, being a huge Twilight Zone fan, I bet was also really into Black Mirror. And he says that he, wanted to cast Kaluuya off of the strength of that episode. And it works.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Kaluuya
He
is so
crushed
good
it.
in this.
It was like perfect. His
I
facial expressions.
Yeah. As much as it's, a well-written script that won an Academy Award and everything, a lot of credit has to go for how you are never lose track of exactly what Chris is thinking and feeling throughout, just through Kaluuya's like expressions. And I mean, he does get nominated for Best Actor.
And he doesn't even talk that much.
No, just his
Super expressive. Yeah.
No.
Through his face. and
the party and the dinner when the brother's talking to him, but like the whole party scene where he's just like, just making a face. And you're just
Really?
like, you get everything that's going on with this guy. You see like a lifetime of having to tolerate bullshit like this.
That's I even got the impression like he's not even actually like acting, and I don't mean that as an insult.
Oh,
It almost felt like he's dealt with these situations so many times. This is just his response. Like this is how he just deal with it.
That's right on.
Yeah,
Kaluuya
yeah.
said that is the case. That like, oh, I've been to that party before.
That's,
Yeah,
it just you got the impression of like, and I don't want to take away from his work because it was absolutely incredible. I just mean like it just felt so natural. Like it didn't seem like it was a stretch for him to act through those scenes. It's good to know that's
Yeah,
how he
yeah.
felt.
I mean, you hear from like just being on Twitter and talking to people that just anecdotally, Black women all the time, people are always trying to touch their hair.
Oh yeah.
And it's a similar thing. People are just like feeling his arms and going like, "Oh wow, you seem really strong."
Your genetics are
Like,
great.
going like,
Like,
whoa,
oh,
okay. But yeah, Kaluuya's awesome. He's so good in this. And I mean, the scene with him and Catherine Keener, the first time she hypnotizes him, and he's playing the kind of like struggle and the internal and the kind of like trying to keep it cool, but also like the dawning realization of like he's paralyzed and the kind of terror and stuff. And there's just like a lot of emotions that he has to play, and he's just it's so good.
Yeah, that was another thing. Like, I'm glad you brought her up because I don't know exactly what she's from, but I recognized almost everyone in this movie.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, there
she's
you
the
go.
main love interest.
It just feels like
Being John Malkovich,
that's what I was thinking.
another movie about people being in each other's heads.
Yes. But it feels like, to keep the movie low budget, like Jordan Peele went out and he got every amazing character actor from all of your favorite things that you could find and was like, all right, I can get these people for cheap. They're phenomenal actors. Let's put them into the movie and just make a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Because just most of the people in there
so
you see from other.
I mean, my favorite character actor, Stephen Root's in this. He's the art dealer, the blind guy.
Yeah.
That
He's
was
just doing career best work on Barry right now.
What's his name from Office
Milton?
Space? Milton from Office Space.
Milton from Office. He's in
He crushed
Brooklyn
it.
Nine-Nine.
You're right.
Yes. He's in everything.
Yep. And so
Character actor.
the dad is in
Can I
Brooklyn
borrow your
Nine-Nine.
He's in
too.
Dodgeball. He's the nerdy guy in Dodgeball.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yep.
I love like the dad being in it, because now every time I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's going to have a different like tone, because it's like, oh, his dad didn't leave the family. He was just off in the woods doing crazy things.
Oh, yeah. He's the pilot dad.
He's the pilot dad.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan Peele's wife is Chelsea Peretti from Brooklyn.
Oh,
so,
no way.
yeah.
Okay. That's why.
So more Brooklyn Nine-Nine connections.
Yep.
I
didn't realize that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So, oh man, just a good movie. It's there's so many different layers of things happening that I think we're having a hard time like figuring out where to.
I have a really specific question.
Yeah.
And I would love to know all of your thoughts on this. So when they're driving to the parents' house and they hit the deer, and he goes and like sees the deer in the woods, and like what point was trying to be pushed there? Like I feel like I missed something.
Trauma response to that's how his mom died.
Oh.
That she was just like injured at the side of a road after a hit and run.
Okay. See, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, something's here.
Too.
Jordan Peele does the sound effect for the deer there. That's just Jordan Peele going, meh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, he crushed it.
He crushed it. Much like Chris and, well, I guess Rose is driving. Much like Rose and the deer. He crushed it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out.
I also have another question on significance. When they're at the party, and the couple goes and walks off, and they're sitting on the bench, and there's that orchestrated bingo scene.
It's an auction.
Yeah.
You know, like
so I think he sold for either 200,000 or 2 million. I think it was probably
it was a silent auction. Okay.
Yep. Because he did.
I did not think about that at 1 a.m. last night.
And then so they had the cards. So if he came back and they were
we're
like,
playing bingo.
Yeah. And they all had bingo. So if he saw one of the cards up, bingo.
That makes a lot more sense when they're talking about like why everybody was mentioning those things and like checked his arms. I thought he was already pre-sold, but that was literally the whole point of the party.
The whole party
Yes.
was basically like a
Yeah, that's why
display.
everyone's like coming up to him and like, you know, doing everything but just very on the nose, literally checking his teeth. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say basically might as well be like, oh, those are some nice canines.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yep.
That's so good.
Yeah. So, watching it for the first time, Robbie and Cory, were you aware of kind of what was going to happen throughout the movie? It has an extremely good trailer that's pretty famous for both being good and also giving a lot of the movie away.
The only thing I was aware of, and it's just mostly from like comments and other people talking online, is I saw something along the lines of like somebody was like, oh, you're just like that bitch and Get Out. So I had a feeling that, and like it was in relation to like basically appearing woke. So I had a feeling like somewhere throughout the movie she was also going to be a bad guy, which I was a little disappointed by, because I felt like that turn would have been
That is
great.
too yes.
bad, 'cause it was-
Usually this, you know, in horror movies, there's like a bunch of evil white people, but like one of them's good.
Yes, and
It's
I
obviously
had
supposed to
that,
be pure.
that like deep feeling the whole time, and I was like, nobody's good, and I was a little disappointed but what are you gonna do? I mean,
That is too bad.
it's like a
'cause
5-year-old.
She did
movie.
such a good job.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Did you
the
see
only-
that
so-
particular turn coming?
not before watching the movie. So and the only like a lot of it you could kind of like see coming to some extent, but not the actual brain transplant. Like that part I did not. I just thought they were like taking them and using hypnosis to, you know, just control them, and that was it. But the brain thing was like, oh my God, like that's a whole new level. But I started suspecting her as soon as I realized the family was crazy. I was like, oh, this bitch is she's tapped too. Like I would have left way before that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, also, this is a statement that I've said to both Robbie and Noah. You don't know if someone's crazy until you've known them for at least 6 months. You need to hit the 6 month mark.
Yeah. What are they? They're
enough.
at 5 months. He says 4, and she's like 5.
She says 5.
Yeah. No, you need 6 months.
You need 6 months, and that was his main mistake.
Yeah.
Gentlemen out there.
I would have left way before that. Like I was so uncomfortable watching.
Yeah.
Imagine being there after that thing with the brother. I'd be like, hey, Rob just called, or Rod just called, and the dog's sick. I would have lied to her. I'd been like, the dog's sick. I gotta go.
Well, he can't go.
He
doesn't,
right?
and he doesn't have a license.
Oh, he can't even drive.
No.
And at one point when he saw that box with the pictures,
Yeah.
I would have fucking ran.
Well,
as soon as that happened, and she was just like, "Oh, hey."
So that was when you were given the recap in the beginning when they were talking, and he was like, "Do your parents know?" He also asked her, "Well, have you ever dated a black guy before?" And she says no.
Yeah.
So then when he sees all the pictures,
well,
even
and the
before
pictures on their own is like,
yeah, and not only that, but he also sees pictures of the
towards the
two
end
of
of
the
stack,
characters that are there.
the characters
I
are
didn't
there.
make that connection
But
until
like
afterwards.
as soon as he picked up the first picture, it's here's her with the black guy, and she specifically told me she's never. Yeah.
I would have climbed out the window right there. I would have risked my death out the second floor.
Just jump out and start running.
Like, absolutely not. I'm not going through the stairs. Like, let her find the keys. She has one bag. You think she can't find the keys instantly?
Well, he did suspect her because like right when he was first gonna leave, he told her, I'm getting out of here. And she was like, without me? And she did a really good job of playing like her and then being like, no, I get it. We'll leave. So I think like he was about to just write her off. And she did such a good job of like just saving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have just sprinted through the woods.
Yeah, but you're just in the woods.
Yeah, that's better than in that goddamn house.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know how the neighbors are.
Probably
exactly the way that he did it.
Yeah, I don't know what he could have done different besides not go like Rod told him.
Yeah.
Should have listened.
The moral of the story is just listen to Rod.
Yeah.
TS motherfucking A.
Listen to your friends.
It was kind of it was just kind of funny having Rod in there as that character where you have that trope of like black people watching movies where they yell at the screen like, don't go in there, don't do that.
Can you see this?
And it was just
It's
funny to have Rod in the movie as that person being like, don't go, like, he's almost a stand-in for the viewer that would be saying the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I just thought it was really funny.
And for most of the movie, he's, aside from the very last bit, he's at such a remove too. So yeah, he's definitely like that surrogate of just like, dude, it's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Come on. No, run. Stop it.
And the first thing
that
he
bit
says
about like
when they
Jeffrey
get in the
Dahmer.
car, I told you.
Yeah, I know. Told you.
He literally sees two dead people and saves his friend covered in blood, and he's just like, well, I told you not to go.
Yeah.
You would have listened to me.
I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew it was going to be this.
He was such good like comic relief too.
Yeah. So that's Lil Rel Howery. He didn't exactly host, but had like a extended bit at the the train station Oscars a couple years ago.
Didn't you look him up on IMDb?
He was,
There's like a few
he
different
was in like a
things
bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Character actor.
I just feel like I haven't seen him, and I'm basing the entire world on what I've seen.
Oh, he was in Free Guy.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen him. I didn't watch Free Guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was in Free Guy.
Okay.
And he also
that made a lot of money.
It did. It was
so
good.
he's-
I
so he's
enjoyed
doing
it.
good.
It was like a.
I'm glad to hear that because I think he's really good. So
He was in Bird Box.
didn't watch Bird Box either.
Either did I. Actually, I'm surprised you didn't watch Bird Box.
Yeah,
It's like
it
all
seemed
everybody talked about.
Yeah, but
same.
whatever.
I didn't see it.
Was that the Sandra Bullock one with the
Yeah, the blindfolds.
blindfolds?
Space Jam. Did you
I
watch
didn't see
Space
it.
Jam?
Is he in that?
He might have voiced someone. I don't know.
There's a bunch of people that show up in that because they just backed up a Brinks truck and were like, every tangentially famous person get in the movie.
Nice.
I mean, how else are you going to get multiple Jokers and the Ice King from Game of Thrones as background actors. You got to pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Or waste a lot of money.
Dumb movie.
I didn't even watch
Yeah,
it.
that
I was
one
like,
I'm assuming
Yeah,
we're
it's
talking about
just like
Space Jam 2.
Space Jam 2.
yeah.
New
We're
Legacy or
not
whatever.
speaking sacrilege.
I just don't want our viewers to think we're talking shit on Space Jam. That's gonna,
It's a classic.
Okay, we're gonna cut all of that out.
No, that needs to stay. So I have these 2 notes.
Yeah, please.
One is Rod is the fucking man.
Yes.
The second one, in all caps, might I add, glad that bitch dead. Because I was so happy when he shot her.
So by the time this movie comes out, Allison Williams, mostly known for Girls, and I think that weird live Peter Pan on NBC had come out already by then.
Yeah.
So did any of you guys watch Girls?
No.
Girls.
Is that a movie?
A TV show on HBO.
Nope.
The first thing that most people saw Adam Driver in.
recommend Men last week and Girls this week.
Yeah.
Watch
Yes.
it back
Well,
to back.
Depends on the week what you're feeling.
Girls is really good. That's the Lena Dunham show that was on HBO. I don't know, about 10 years ago, maybe. And point being, Allison Williams is, I think, really good on that show. She's really good in this kind of as
She was
that.
amazing.
The scene that made me the most, for some reason, the most uncomfortable out of all of it.
The milk scene.
Yeah, dude, she sipped.
How did you know?
The fact
How
that she
did you
took
know?
little baby sips of the milk, like 3 each sip, I was like, oh, stop, just take a big gulp or stop.
Yeah, and
Cheery, not the
single
Fruit
Loops.
Loops. Fruit Loops one by one.
yeah, a lot of people online are like, oh, because she keeps the white milk separate from the color Fruit Loops.
Oh, okay.
And then I was watching a thing with Jordan Peele reading different fan theories, and he was like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I think he's just like, I'm just trying to show that she's weird.
Yeah.
He's probably
She's
like,
just
I
like
like
a-
Fruit Loops, so we're gonna choose Fruit
Yeah,
Loops.
she's a freaking weirdo. And yeah, that's when you first see her in her like final form with like the really tight ponytail, wearing like a really like
Perfect, like
colonial
posture.
hunting uniform,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah, she's basically riding pants. Like she looks like she's
Yeah,
gonna go on a fox
literally
hunt.
like wearing riding pants with like a tucked in and buttoned white shirt,
Yep.
That
and then she gets the
her-
rifle with
Yeah.
wearing that thing. Yeah.
That scene, and then her on the phone with Rod.
That was
Well,
terrifying.
Watching her facial expression, she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh no!"
She
and I
did-
was just like, "Oh."
Her delivery of just like straight faced, oh my God, is yeah.
That was
So
amazing.
fucking good.
That was literally that was
bitch is lying.
terrifying.
Yeah.
He knows.
And then when he like takes her off of mute again and he gets back and she goes, I know why you're really calling. He's just like, fuck no, fuck off.
No,
It's like, no,
fuck you, fuck
he's
you.
my best friend. No, what the fuck you talking about? Nobody wants to do that. You fuck.
Yeah. She's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he says that at the end, right?
Yeah, no, she's great in this.
Mhm.
If you don't want to watch All the Girls, there's a late season episode that's basically just about her called, I think it's called The Panic in Central Park. That's really good. And she hasn't popped up in a ton of other stuff either, I don't think.
She's really good.
She's really good. She should be in
Yeah.
more stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In another scene that like really stuck out to me, not with her, it was with, I already forgot the actor's name, but the main character was when he had the realization before the art dude explained what was about to happen, and you just see his face, like that expression change instantly, where he's like, oh my God, they're going to do a brain transplant. Before he even said it, it's just like he knew. He was just like, that transition from one facial expression to the other was just like, wow.
Well, because at that point, I think your thought process is the same as his as a viewer, where you're just like, all right, well, it's hypnosis, that sucks, but there's still hope. Like somebody can come find these people and snap them out of it, and they'll be fine. And then the curtain comes down, and it's like, nope, permanent surgery. Those other people that they did it to, they're just done. Like you can't fix that. So it's just the terror felt real for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume there's no way to fix it because,
You can't get the brain back.
right, yeah, whoever was, what their real name was inside Walter, the granddad character.
Yeah.
He's like in the house. He would know if there was some kind of reversible thing, and he just shoots himself the first chance he gets.
Yeah.
So,
True.
Well,
I
that
would do
and
the
like,
same.
yeah, no doubt.
yeah.
Fuck this.
something I noticed, it seems like, because like the grandma character, she was like almost zoned out the whole time. And like even the grandfather, he was doing like those weird laps. And I think the brain keeps aging even if the body is younger. So it seemed like they were just going more and more like this procedure wouldn't have worked again. Like they couldn't extend out.
Oh,
you know
I see what
mean?
you're saying. Yeah. Like they themselves were
like
kind of losing it.
They didn't really discover immortality. It's just like a really cheap fix where you're not even like they were tapping their glass to get the grandma to fill up their drinks. Like, sure, she's their grandma, but she really wasn't a full person. It didn't feel like.
I also took it as they've gotten better at the surgery, and maybe there's some like synapses that didn't connect for them or something. But I don't know.
I could see that. But I mean, all of the characters you met that had it were like just not full people. Even when they were like being white people, they still weren't like emoting. They
had like conflicting brain messages going through their body, like oh what?
Yeah, like robots malfunctioning.
Or
something.
There's a couple big things I want to hit with them, but first I want to, before I forget, right when he gets to the house and Bradley Whitford is giving him the tour, there is so much good foreshadowing that I wonder if you guys caught. Literally, like every line Bradley Whitford says for a solid like 3 minutes of screen time is all foreshadowing. You see, he brings him by the basement, says, yeah, we keep it locked up. We've got black mold down there.
Oh, yep.
It's another one where Jordan Peele was like, yeah, I meant to do that. Like, you really didn't mean to? I feel like he did.
Oh, I thought that was like very intentional.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I thought so too. But the video I was watching, he was like, yeah, no, I meant that on purpose. They said the brother is off studying medicine.
Oh.
He loves bringing souvenirs back because he likes to experience other people's cultures.
That I didn't.
When they go into the kitchen and you see Georgina the first time, we keep a piece of my mom in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on any of that.
Nice.
When he's talking, when he goes outside and he goes, oh, I know what you're thinking, white family with black servants. But we actually hired them to take care of our parents.
Oh, okay. Wasn't lying.
When my parents died, I couldn't bear to let them go. Then he says they would have voted for Obama for a third term thing.
Yep.
Then they go back to like the patio and they're having drinks or whatever with Catherine Keener. And she's like, they're asking him a bunch of questions about like, oh, what did your parents do? How long have you been smoking? And they're literally doing like an intake form. They're getting like his family and medical history.
Oh, okay.
I thought the parents thing was more to like show that there wouldn't be people looking for him if he went missing.
Yeah, it works that way too. No doubt.
I thought the brother trying to like wrestle him was just seeing like gauging his strength.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
For sure.
I knew as soon as like I heard mention of the brother before he even came into the scene, I knew the exact type of person he was going to be.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a totally, bro.
Just a real weirdo.
I had to look it up because I thought for sure he was Billy from Stranger Things, but he's not. He's a different actor. He looks a lot like him and acts a lot like him, though.
It's Caleb Landry Jones is the actor in this, and he just plays really weird, kind of twitchy white guys. that's like his thing.
Accurate. It's funny because it's you see the difference between him and his sister. Like his sister is clearly a sociopath.
Yes.
But then he's like at default a normal person that's just like really messed up from all of this. And you can like see it in just like the way he acts and why he's like getting super drunk, like when everybody else is like lightly drinking. I feel like he's really emotionally impacted in a way that like completely messed him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I think they're both sociopaths, and it's just like he's a sociopath from the perspective of like drunk redneck sociopath, and she's a sociopath from this perspective of like liberal white person that doesn't actually care but pretends like they care. I don't know, because I think you might be giving him a little bit too much credit where like I don't know if he's messed up from this. I think he's messed up and does this. Like it didn't seem like it bothered him to be murdering these people. He just gets drunk because he's a drunk redneck, you know? I don't know.
Yeah,
he's a rich white guy in New York, but yeah.
I just got the vibe that he's like he's doing like things that are over the top to like basically get those like dopamine hits because like he's trying to stay happy. His like life's all messed up.
And when his parents are like telling him to cool it, they're like, "You're giving away too much, right?"
Yeah.
You're being too off-putting. we already have him in the trap. You can't like convince him that he needs to leave.
Yeah.
That night he goes to bed, has that nightmare about the deer. And so he gets like a Jones for a cigarette. So he goes outside to smoke. That's when Georgina walks by in the background and there's like the quick music sting. And then he goes outside and there's the really famous shot of the old guy running at him. Do you guys remember that from like Twitter and TikTok and stuff? That was like the get out challenge was run directly at the camera and then veer off at the last second.
No.
Oh, I've seen pictures of that still of like somebody staring and running directly at you.
That was really cool in theaters because it's just like, what the
You have
fuck's
no idea
happening?
what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see him like right in the distance, and like as the character's eyes are adjusting and realizing what's happening, you're kind of doing the same thing. He
Yeah.
starts like it's dark out. He's there's trees and whatever. And
I'm glad you mentioned the noise because the score and like all of the sounds that they put into it really did a good job of keeping you unsettled,
yes,
even when there wasn't unsettling stuff going on.
yeah,
Like you didn't really have a reason to be so uncomfortable for the first half of the movie, but you were. And I think the music was a large, even outside of the uncomfortable things that.
yeah. It's
That
it's
happened, yeah.
it's
Why
good
was his
throughout.
grandfather running?
He was an Olympic runner.
So
was-
that
he
was the only reason why he was running it. Like,
He's an Olympic runner who's
1 in the
haunted by
morning?
his loss to Jesse Owens.
Yeah.
so he's just training at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
I wasn't sure
they
if there
never
was, like,
put
a
too fine
specific-
a point on
yeah.
it, but it's
Getting some reps in.
yes. The one thing that Jordan Peele says he cut out of the script was that at the last bit where he chases Chris down and tackles him as he's like over him, trying to choke him or whatever. He was originally written to say, "I finally beat you, Jesse."
Oh, gotcha.
Jordan Peele was like, "That's probably just too much.
That
It's
would've
too
been a
much
little too
mustard
much.
on the hot dog."
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so the idea being that he's like training every night to try and like get his time to better.
Because it'd
than
be weird
Jesse
if he was
Owens.
training during the day, because then people would see him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. I just didn't get the night significance, but now it makes sense. Also, I think the sneakers he was wearing were the like one of the original like Steve Prefontaine Nikes.
Oh wow.
Maybe
they were
once he
green
was,
and
like,
yellow.
actually wearing.
And yeah, I'm gonna look that up while we continue
Yeah, go
talking.
for it.
But
That's cool.
Nice detail.
Nice detail. So, and then the other character who's in the house, who's already had the surgery, Georgina, played by Betty Gabriel, who isn't in a ton, but probably should have been nominated for supporting actress because she has the best bits, right? The part where she's apologizing for unplugging his phone
Mm.
and she starts crying and saying, no. And like crying and smiling at the same time.
Yeah, that was great.
that's
I found
amazing
that
work.
to be my experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another scene though that made me feel like they were all losing it, where I was just like, because they were desperately trying to make everything feel normal, but like she couldn't even have a regular conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, one big thing that we do need to talk about: how good of a metaphor is the sunken place?
Tell us more, Ben.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
still on the shoes. Why would it be called the sunken place though?
Oh, they just call it that.
Oh, okay. I thought
No,
like
I mean, like
the
the-
term sunken place.
No, just the concept.
Oh yeah. That makes sense. I thought that like the word meant
Yeah.
something, and I was like, is there like a
Like-
prison term?
Yeah, and and a lot of stuff that Jordan Peele's tapping into, not just the visceral level of Invasion of the Body Snatchers homaging stuff, but also the, losing autonomy on your body and
Mhm.
being used as a tool for other people,
Yeah.
all those stuff, and then like literally being trapped in a prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. It's just not an experience that I'm super familiar with, so
No,
I wouldn't
sure,
make
yeah.
that connection. But in retrospect, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when Jordan Peele was talking about wanting to make a movie about people and
Yeah, I mean, it's
justly in prison. And
I think an article just came out recently that last year the combined value produced by prison inmates was $8.2 billion, and
Oh
they're
my
paid
God.
like 16 cents an
yeah,
hour.
that's slave labor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
slavery. It's not really any other way to.
But yeah, second place is great. I feel like it's so hard to have things break through into public consciousness and concepts in movies. I mean, and that's one that certainly did very just good work by Jordan Peele. Yeah, like none of us can speak to that experience, but I can recognize that he did a good job with this movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
This maybe is like a fan. What do they call it? Like fan
Fan theory?
conspiracy thing
Fan
theory.
theory, sure.
But so those like that colorway of the Nike sneakers, there was like a line of sneakers that like they referred to them as pre-lives, it's like Prefontaine lives, and they came out and like there were green and yellow ones. So I bet like a really deep fan theory could be that he was wearing the pre-live sneakers in a way of saying like the runner that he previously was still lives on. That's like a deep, like absolutely is not the reason, but
Jordan
it's
Peele
just
might
like,
be like, yeah, that's what I meant, man.
yeah, he'd be like, yeah, I know. Pre-lives, bro. Well, anyway, next topic. What do you think the sunken place is the worst form of torture?
So we'll bring you in because on one of the more recent episodes, I think it was the last one. Yeah, on the Blair Witch episode, we talked about of the 4 movies that we're doing, which would be the worst one to be like killed by the villain of. And I said it's definitely this one.
Yeah.
Being sunken placed is worse than, Michael Myers. He just chokes or stabs you and then it's over pretty quick. Freddy messes with you and ruins your sleep, which I don't love. I'd say that one would really suck because I just don't want to be fucked with.
That's number 2, probably.
And then Blair Witch, same thing. I just don't want to be fucked with or be sleep deprived.
Yeah.
But then this is like, this is the worst.
Yeah.
Because at least the other ones, you're dead at the end.
Yeah.
You're just literally like in a state of like nothingness, watching someone else control your body. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
yeah. And I guess we Stranger Things was this month too, and this season of Stranger Things, it remains to be seen if those people are still existing in some way in the Upside Down. So
yeah, I think they become demigorgons.
We'll see. 2 episodes left to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably the worst option on any of the ways to be dead in the movies and Stranger Things in the TV shows that we've done. If we do all the horror movies, I don't know. Shining's pretty bad too. You gotta work at a hotel forever. You have to murder your family and then work at a hotel forever.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs was pretty bad too.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, there's some rough ones.
You get put in like a well, and then your skin gets made into a coat.
Yeah,
just doing the ones that we've done. Alien's bad forever. Too. If you just get killed by the xenomorph, that's one thing. But if you're the one who gets chest bursted,
also good.
Prometheus is even worse.
Yeah, true enough. Okay.
So yeah, Halloween Judgment, that stands. Didn't think I'd be saying that the Halloween death is clearly the preferable way to go.
It clearly is, because Michael Myers is matter of fact about it.
Yeah.
He tries to get you and then he gets you.
Oh, have you seen it's like a TikTok thing where people are doing where they do the like Michael Myers challenge, where basically you start at the same point as someone and then you run to the door and try to unlock the door and get in before they can walk to you.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Really funny.
That's really cool.
That's nice. I like that.
Also,
some kid on the inside walking way too slow to open the door.
Yeah.
Tommy.
We were talking about this earlier, but so after everybody's dead and Rod comes and picks him up, what do you think from his name's Chris, right? Chris's perspective, what's the moral thing to do following up after that? So there's still all of those people that are being controlled in the sunken place. Do you think morally he should go and kill them all? Or like what's the right thing to do there?
My answer was flash them to wake them up and give them the option. Just be like, here's a gun if you want it.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably it, right?
If it's guaranteed, yeah.
Yeah. Problem is, what happened? That wasn't all of them, right? Because there was like over a dozen photos.
There was
and
like
who knows how many more?
Yeah, you'd have to like track them all down.
And they all burned up.
Oh yeah, so you wouldn't even know.
Oh, that doesn't.
Who they were.
It'd be really hard.
That does answer, because I was wondering like what he was going to do. Like, is he going to put like how is he going to even?
Because he could go through like the missing persons register and see if he recognizes anyone.
Oh, that could be. He could probably.
But he didn't really. But he was just kind of rifling through those pictures.
Yeah.
He probably could have got Lakeith's character, the guy at the beginning.
Yes,
maybe could have found him.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, what do you have any other thoughts of like what you would do?
Or did you just say, fuck it, I got out?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they're not going to make any more.
But I'm talking morally, like
morally, he should do something, but he also might just be like, I don't want to risk going back there.
Oh yeah, I would.
because at the same time, like a bunch of rich white people are dead here, and
Yeah.
like he's, because they specifically made it so he would be untrackable, he's out scot-free, right? There's no paper trail of him being there.
Well,
So he probably doesn't want to go back, and then the townspeople will be like, "That's him."
Yeah.
That's probably part of the message, though, is that, like, especially if you're talking about the prison system, is like, yeah, he got out, and he does still have to know that there's plenty of people like him that didn't get out. And
Yeah,
they
right.
have to just deal with it, and that's just kind of
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? You're gonna break into a prison and get the other people
Has
you
to
know
deal
are
with it,
you just
And
live your life.
also,
Yeah.
we were talking about how it could still happen after this because their family's dead, but it's a whole order. And they've done other iterations. There's no way that they didn't have notes or like a book. You got to have, if you're in a cult, you need a book with all of your secrets.
It seems like they had like proprietary tech, but obviously like the idea exists.
Yep.
And they're not ever arguing that he is the best neurosurgeon in the world. He was just the one that was doing this. They could, as a community, certainly raise funds to try and tempt a different neurosurgeon and be like, hey, here's the basic concept.
Once you know it's already possible, that takes, because a lot of the scientific process is like, well, are we going to keep giving them money if they don't even know that they can do it? But if you know you can do it, you just throw money at it until.
Yeah. No, I didn't even think of that. But like, especially like all those rich people who want this to happen, they're going to spend all their money trying to make this happen again.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
And that's going to be a pretty formidable operation.
Which is, I mean, also part of the problem. Like, even if you reflect it back to the real world, we know that there's all these issues going on, and we know that there's all these people with money that want it to go on, and we still can't do anything about it, even as a collective, let alone one person.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's probably a good note to end on.
Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya back with Jordan Peele in his new movie. It's out on July 22nd called Nope. This sounds like a plug, but none of us are financially benefit from that movie. And in fact, we'll lose money going to see it, but that's fine. I'm looking forward to it.
Nope.
Get out.
Seriously,
The movie looks incredible.
I got to watch Men first. Maybe I'll watch that later.
Yeah, that movie looks so good.
When does it come out? June?
July 22nd. Tickets already on sale.
Nice.
Keke Palmer I like a lot too, and Steven Yen, obviously. So
Ooh,
looking forward to that. I am they I think recently put out a new trailer for that I'm just avoiding trailers, whatever. I know I'm gonna go see it, so I'm not gonna watch more trailers
I'm not
for
gonna
that.
watch it either.
Just I'm in. I'm really excited.
After watching this, I'm like, all right, I'll watch anything
Yeah,
that he makes.
The second one was
Us.
Us. Yeah, it was also very good.
Us is really good.
Have you seen Us?
No.
Oh,
Lupita,
should watch that one.
I mean, I see us right now.
the movie Us. Lupita Nyong'o gives an amazing performance as the lead character in that one, and she was my favorite performance of that year. And because genre stuff gets overlooked, wasn't even nominated. But I don't know, Kaluuya gets nominated for this. She's at least as good as Kaluuya in this.
Do you think
as
Us
she
was
is in
good?
this.
Yeah.
The movie, I like Get Out more,
Okay.
but I liked Us.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Do you
It
think
doesn't-
I will like it?
Probably.
I
Yeah,
feel like
it's a
if
little
you have a
bit
good
this
grasp of what I like at this point.
It's a little bit more of a straightforward slashery thing
Oh, okay.
once they get into the business. But the performances are so good. And the various components that Peele plays with, the horror and the comedy and the social commentary, but all of those working both individually and coming together to form like a greater whole and Get Out. I don't think they all come together quite as well in Us.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
Tim Heidecker's in it.
93% Rotten
He is?
Tomatoes.
I have to go back and
Oh,
watch it, I guess.
we're
I
gonna
don't
see
remember
him.
that.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty soon, like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's soon, right?
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts? I think we're good, right?
That's great. I loved it.
Yeah,
So
it was very
good.
good.
Fantastic.
You can find our scores on Letterboxd at Late to the Movies on Letterboxd, where I make a diary of every movie we've done, and our scores on I think you can do 0 to 5-star system of any scale of your choosing. What would you guys give this movie?
Give it a 5.
Of what?
5 lobotomies out of 5.
Lobotomies. Okay. Okay, cool. What do you guys think?
I give it 4.5 TSA agents.
Nice.
That's solid.
Yeah.
I will give it 4.5 single Fruit Loops out of 5.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Individual Fruit Loops.
Yes.
Fruit Loop.
With a nice long sip of milk.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 5 teacups with like a swirling spoon in it.
yeah.
Just
5 swirls.
clicking against
5
the edge. Yeah, 5 spoon swirls in the teacup out of 5.
Very nice.
I mean, I will say I've been on all of them this month with you, and this was definitely the best one. Easy.
Yeah, this was a good month. I had a fun time this month. Going forward, next month is officially a Spielberg summer. We're doing Spielberg summer blockbuster movies. And we'll be talking
Get
about
ready for Cory's opinions on Jaws.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do Jaws.
Jaws, one of the
Doing
best
Jaws.
one of the best movies ever made. We'll do Jaws, we'll do E.T., we'll do Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we'll do Jurassic Park. Not necessarily in that order. That really depends on scheduling for people.
I'm not a fan of
what
most
we
of
do.
those, actually. Oh, all of them, I'm not. Yeah, not much of a fan of.
Jurassic Park.
Brutal.
The first one.
I like Jurassic Park, but I'm not like.
Brutal.
a huge fan.
I'm not excited when they come out with new Jurassic Park movies. Besides
Well,
the fact
you
that they
don't.
suck, but
No.
No,
I'm not like,
is
yeah,
anymore.
Jurassic Park. I'm just
Not-
like, yeah,
okay.
Jurassic Park was cool.
Yeah, we're only doing the first one. We're not doing all the Jurassic Parks
Okay.
/ worlds.
I'm
That's
excited
next
when
month.
they come out. I'm
Yeah.
the only one, but that's fine.
Should mention because this whole month was on low budget horror. Some of we didn't really do any of the production because the movie's just such a rich text. To use a college term, it's such a rich text. But production wise, Jordan Peele's company Monkey Paw, not in this movie, but now at least in Us, and I'm assuming in Nope, the like production logo that comes up at the beginning is a monkey paw swirling a spoon in a teacup.
Oh,
That's cool.
okay.
Anyway, that just about does it for us. Thanks for listening to Late to the Movies. Thanks for being on, Robbie, Cory, and Noah.
Anytime.
Anytime. Oh,
Bye
damn.
bye.
You can find us at Late to the Movies _podcast on Instagram, late to the movies @gmail.com if you need to complain to Noah.
Or dick pics.
Or rate and reviews, follow and stars us on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, iTunes if you just want to do it on desktop. I've heard recently people just don't want to use Spotify, so if you don't want to use those other options, you can literally just Google the podcast and play through. I think that's technically Google Podcasts, but you just Google it and you can hit play. So there you go.
It's time to get out.
Podbeans. Can't forget Podbeans, also an option. Yeah, time to get out.
I'm out.